Forget blogging and MySpace. If you really want to stay connected, there is a new service, and supposedly it is the next big thing. It's called Twitter.
If you're watching this video, you're on the internet, which means that you know that right now Twitter is burning to the ground. And because of that, tens of people across the globe are quitting the app, just like me. But honestly, the only thing leaving Twitter has done to me is to create this deep and unfillable hole in my soul. I mean, if I can't scream my hot takes into the void and pretend like the paltry validation I receive in return makes up for the fact that nobody wants to talk to me in the real world, who even am I? So that's why I spent a week on every Twitter alternative. And spoiler alert, they were not good at all. First on the list was Hive Social, because if you wanted a place to escape the Twitter hive mind, the first thing you would think of would obviously be an app that's literally named after it. Right off the bat, I'm already unimpressed by the fact that there's not even a version of Hive for desktop. I mean, come on, even TikTok can be viewed from your computer. Though, I'm not sure why anyone would use TikTok on any device at all. Anyway, after creating my account, the app asked me to pick 3 interests. But apart from gaming and, memes, I didn't find any of the other categories to just be that inspiring, especially Halloween, given that it's literally December right now. So I just chose some random thing that's totally unrelated to me and began my Hive journey. Now, because I was on my phone, I had to take a new profile picture, which is hard to do when you've concealed your face. So, to keep my identity private, I put on sunglasses and a hat. Hey, if it works for Robert Downey Jr., it can work for me. And I mean, I'm pretty much Iron Man if you just put deficient in the middle. Now, to be honest, Hive actually does have a lot of quirky features that Twitter just doesn't. For example, you can have it automatically display your zodiac sign on your profile, which is perfect for the fake birthday I gave them when creating my account. And they have their own color themes, which they really want you to know about, by the way. And I get that Twitter also has themes, but just look at the amount of choices we have. I mean, there's the age-old color Basic, then the classic Swamp, and then how could you forget about Tiffany? What? Tiffany? Why is that? How is that a color? But my favorite, by far, has got to be Wazowski. Wazowski. Just why? Honestly, props to Hive for their creativity. I gotta tweet at them for that. Wait, it's not Twitter, so it can't be tweet. What are these posts called? Hives? Heaves? Hooves. Yeah, that's gotta be it. Anyway, after I heaved my first hoof, I decided that I was ready to grow my follower count, and I knew just how I was gonna do it. See, on the Hive homepage, the app actually showcases the gaming category that I subscribed to earlier. But the thing is, a good amount of the posts there actually had nothing to do with gaming at all. And after seeing that most of the posts had 0 likes or comments, it seemed like all you had to do to make it onto gaming was to just put #gaming in the caption. So I got out my camera and set out to Photoshop, take the best, most unique photo that would stand out on Hive Gaming. Which of course would be me hanging out with Mike Wazowski. Okay, maybe I really was feeling the Hive color themes that day. All I had to do now was to post the image with a snazzy caption and a healthy amount of gaming related hashtags. Then I just had to wait for it to show up on the Hive homepage. Which it never did. Yeah, I obsessively checked and refreshed that page at least 100 times in 2 days, and my post never showed up. I don't know if it's because my account was too new or something else, but I wouldn't stand for it. So I decided to follow it up with an even better picture that was sure to get through any filter they might have had. First, I took the picture in an old Minecraft world to make it clearly gaming related. Then, I added myself back in just to make sure it was as human and engaging as possible. Finally, a caption to show just how humble and approachable I am, and boom, I was ready to get some numbers. And the craziest thing was, it worked. When I went to the gaming homepage, my hoof was right there at the very top, and the attention came quickly. I was getting likes, followers, asking questions with Hive's weird ask feature, and getting responses back. I mean, there was nothing that could possibly stop me, and the app went completely down. Huh. I wonder why that would happen, and oh my god, hackers stole everyone's personal info. Well, good thing I gave them a fake birthday. The unique thing about Mastodon is that it's actually decentralized, just like the $2 million Bored Ape I own. So in order to join it, I needed to first pick a server. And okay, why do I feel called out here? Gonna definitely join a different server from that one. Setup was actually really quick and easy. I mean, all I had to do was agree to not commit hate speech, which I guess is something Twitter doesn't make you do now. Anyway, in order to maximize the chances of engagement, I looked at the top hashtags to see if I could capitalize on some trends. The only thing was, the vast majority of the trending hashtags were just different variations of Sunday, which just happened to be the current day. And by the way, this was something that was true for pretty much every single day of the week. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to reuse my Mike Wazowski picture, but change the caption to reference Sunday. Hey, look, I spent way too much time on these photoshops. I was gonna take any chance I could to get to post them. But I guess Sunday is a really slow day for Mastodon users for some reason, because absolutely nobody liked to reply to my post. But I wasn't deterred. I came back 2 days later and picked the first hashtag that didn't have anything to do with Tuesdays, which was 7 films to know me. And now here is where I applied my genius. See, any normal person would answer the prompt truthfully and list 7 movies that are an accurate description of the character, but not me. Because I've used Twitter before, I intentionally chose the 7 most controversial and hated movies, along with Monsters University, to create the absolutely worst take possible in order to guarantee the most angry responses. Because that's all that matters on social media. I even slapped a poll on the end to let people agree or disagree without the slightest bit of nuance as further incentive to engage with my post. But even with all of that masterful baiting, somehow, once again, nothing came. So I tried one last time. Goblin Mode had just won Oxford Word of the Year. People were talking about it, so I wrote the most angry and spiteful post I could muster, dunking on a dictionary for naming 2 separate words their word of the year. And for the 3rd time, crickets. And that's when I wondered, what if I'm the problem? What if instead of people not responding correctly to my posts, the social medium itself wasn't meant for my demographic? I mean, take this for example. When you search dream in Mastodon, you get people talking about their actual dreams, like the things you get when you sleep, which is just completely insane. And now that I actually stopped to check, it turns out that all of the top accounts are journalists, activists, or business people who I just don't think are here to see pictures of an Asian twink hanging out with a dead meme. Well, those sorts of people and God, apparently, who is verified? Maybe that's why Mastodon users aren't online on Sundays. You know what? Maybe I should take a page out of their book and turn to God for answers. See what the Lord Almighty has to say, and okay, the top post is NSFW. I'm out of here. Honestly, I had high hopes for Tumblr, mostly because I knew it actually existed and had a user base before Twitter imploded. Now, just like Hive, I was required to give them my age, which I lied about again, and also choose some topics to follow. And I mean, well, I do watch things on the web, so why don't I just click this button and okay, it just added all 50 of them in one go. You know what? The more the merrier, so why don't I just follow everything in video games as well? After following an ungodly amount of topics, Tumblr went further and actually forced me to follow a bunch of people that I don't actually care about. So I just ended up clicking randomly again and then manually unfollowed every single one of them after. And I'll admit, my first impressions of Tumblr were mixed. While there are color themes, they're all really awful. Like, I guess I can feel like a hacker from a bad TV show with this one, or just flashbang myself with Snow Bright, but the worst one of them all has got to be Pride. Which is just unfortunate because, like, yeah, I want to be proud, but how can I be when you're making it look like we have absolutely no taste in aesthetics? And maybe it was because Tumblr has had a thriving community for years, or maybe the fact that I had blindly signed myself up to 100 topics, but I was quickly feeling lost in this foreign landscape. I mean, there was Minecraft right next to comics, right next to Minecraft comics, and then TV show fanfics, and then memes, and it was just so much all packed into one screen. But luckily for me, I have a friend who actually uses Tumblr, so I could ask them to help me find where where to start. The first thing they told me was that Tumblr users don't actually like to show faces and would rather draw them, which, I mean, is a great thing for me as a faceless YouTuber, but also not so great as I'm really bad at drawing. The second thing was that apparently people on Tumblr are really into this old movie called Goncharov, directed by legendary director Martin Scorsese, which is pretty interesting because I had actually never heard about it in any of the college film classes I was taking. But apparently it's some lost masterpiece or something, so I guess I would have to check it out later. But for now, in order to assimilate into Tumblr culture as quickly as I could, I did what was the only logical and possible way to proceed. A fan art of me and Mike Wazowski going to see Goncharov in theaters. Because did you really expect anything else at this point? And to my surprise, I immediately got like 6 likes on the post, which, yeah, it's a low number, but higher than I expected given it was my first post on a very new account, and the art itself was quite subpar, to say the least. So I went right back to work. I saw that the top trend on Tumblr at the time was Spotify Wrapped, so I whipped up a quick meme about Spotify's personality types and how on my own real personality test, I got rated as 92% turbulent, which is very real, by the way. And it worked again. Not only did I receive a good amount of likes, but I even got a long and thoughtful comment. My friend did end up saying that they saw a post that was pretty much the same joke as mine, but I mean, just like what I told my high school principal, it's not plagiarism if I accidentally make the same thing, just great minds thinking alike. To cap it all off, I decided to draw one last meme about how my Hive experience had been. And this is where I realized that even though I had had so much more success on Tumblr than any other platform, taking the time to draw out every single post was really not worth it at the end of the day. I mean, I was practically copying an existing image for this one, and it still took hours of my life that could have gone to salvaging my college GPA. So after making the last post of my little experiment, the only thing left to do was to finally watch that Goncharov movie. So I got to searching it up, and Tumblr was gaslighting me the entire time. I really should have seen that coming.
Possible that the ever-popular MySpace, even blogging, are slowly being eaten by this thing called a Twitter, where you're about to learn what it's